Padalka and Kornienko, the two veteran cosmonauts, moved quickly outside after their workstation, outside of the hatchway to the Piers docking compartment. The first order of business was the installation of devices called gap spanners that are designed to facilitate the movements of cosmonauts outside of the Russian segment of the station during spacewalks. Kornienko used a special buffing device to clean the grime and smear of residue, thruster residue firings off of one of the windows on the Zvezda service module. And then he and Padalka attached fasteners to secure covers on 3 of the other wall antennas that exist in various locations on the outside of the Zvezda service module.
What can I use to pull on it?
The 2 crew members inspected each other's Orlan spacesuits, jettisoned a pair of towels that they used to wipe down their suits as per the procedures during any Russian spacewalk. They photographed an old experiment that has been collecting data on the effect of the microgravity environment on a variety of biological samples. That experiment, called the Expose-R experiment. I also retrieved another experiment called the Obstanovka experiment from the outside of Zvezda that has measured the effect of space weather and plasma wave activity. They then took samples of thruster residue from one of the solar arrays on the outside of the Zvezda service module, one of its radiators, and the vent valves for the Vozduk carbon dioxide removal system and the electron oxygen generation system on the Russian segment of the station.
And
They completed the fastening. Of covers to the other 2 wall antennas, walls 4 and 5, and then began the process of removing the wall 6 antenna, which they're about to complete as we speak.
is there anything special that needs to be done with it before install? Are there any guides, anything special that needs to be done? You need to remove the wing nut all the way. Spring pushing on this little plate here.
And how far do we take it? Do we just drive it all the way? Yep, please, all the way. Yeah, once you feel resistance, you know that you've driven it all the way in. Yep, all the way to hard stop. Okay? Yep, and after you've done that is when you fasten the wing nut down. Okay? It's in. All right. Driving it in. We don't need to do it too driving it in. We don't need to do it too hard, right? Just hand tight. Yeah, the cable is routed not in the most ideal way. Yeah, I'll make some videos right now. Yes, please. Well, you can. And after that, we'll try to have you install those grids. All right, Artyom, I've completed taking pictures of the patch panel. Okay, you are go to close the vent. It's already closed. Yeah, the Velcro is hardly doing anything, but since there's no wind, here, it may be sufficient. Yeah, but the cable that goes out of the new L6 antenna is routed slightly differently, and you'll see what I mean. It kind of comes up on top relative to the antenna. Okay. Mikhail. Now you need to press on with the KPU tool carrier uninstall. Secured on my wrist. There is a hook on the KPU. And then you basically hook it onto your rigid tether. There are 2 hooks there. Can you see, Misha? Yes, Gennady. Right, installing the cover on the valve antenna that we just removed. Valve antenna that we just removed. You are go. Yeah, if it fits easily, then you are go to complete that step. If not, then we might scratch that. Okay, I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah, it's fine. Can I secure it in one way or another? I can't remember which one was functioning, which one wasn't. Yeah, okay. It's nice and restrained now. Okay. Very good. Lock in the pins so that it's nice and tight. And again, we'll need to pull at it with a writ. Because one goes nicely and another one with a bit of a difficulty. I'll try it anyway.
Нет, вторая не становится скоба. Только одна скоба. Принял?
Yeah, the second staple pin doesn't insert. Okay, let's try the wire tie then. And once we've wire tied it, that will be the transportation config. Wait a second. What I've done, one of them is secured. And I have been able to rotate it, not on the threaded connection, but just in the groove.
Gennady Padalka and Mikhail Kornienko continue to work with the installation of a replacement communications antenna called a wall antenna, one of 6 such antennas on the outside of the Zvezda service module. Back in September of 2004, Padalka was joined by NASA astronaut Mike Fink for the installation of the first 3 of the half-dozen wall antennas that were ultimately used to provide communications and rendezvous information to approaching automated transfer vehicles for the European Space Agency. The last 3 such wall antennas were installed a year later by Leroy Chow and Salijan Sharipov during an Expedition 10 spacewalk.
We're working on the patch panel step, Gennady. And if you want me to take you with, Gennady, then I expect to be reimbursed. Guys, this is Sergey. It's a request for you to take 5 because we're clocking it at 4 hours 19 minutes of total EVA time. So now is a good time for you to take a break. Yeah, we still have so much to do, rotating the Vicadillo and taking so many pictures and stuff. Having said that, Gennady, you need to take a 5 minutes break. Okay.
An opportunity for the crew to take a few minutes of rest outside of the International Space Station.
So much. Yeah, but you can only handle so much of a good thing.
The International Space Station is flying 250 miles directly over the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan.
Yeah, I'm out here trying to beat Scott's...
Moving from northwest to southeast in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. On Friday, one of the unpiloted Russian resupply vehicles called the Progress 58 vehicle that arrived at the International Space Station back in February will be undocked from the aft port of the Zvezda service module and will be deorbited to burn up over the Pacific Ocean, its job having been completed for this mission. Another Progress supply ship, the Progress 60, remains docked to the Piers docking compartment, used today by Padalka and Kornienko as an airlock from which to conduct their spacewalk.
Yeah, but you are being recommended to take a 5-minute break.
The aft port of the Zvezda service module will see the arrival through a relocation of the Soyuz TMA-16M spacecraft that will be occupied by Padalka, Scott Kelly, and Mikhail Kornienko on August 28th. They will undock from the space-facing port of the Poisk module that is attached to the Russian segment of the station and fly around the station to redock at the aft port of the Zvezda. That will open up the Poisk module for the arrival on September 2nd of a third Soyuz vehicle that will be commanded by veteran Russian cosmonaut Sergei Volkov, joined by European Space Agency astronaut Andreas Mogensen of Denmark and Kazakh cosmonaut Aydin Aimbetov from the Kazakh Space Agency known as Kazcosmos. They are visiting crew members who will spend 10 days on the International Space Station. Volkov will remain on the station while Padalka comes home on September 12th with Mogensen and Aimbetov landing in the older Soyuz TMA-16, landing in the older Soyuz TMA-16M spacecraft. Volkov will be the commander of the Soyuz to bring home Kelly and Kornienko in the Soyuz TMA-8, their year-long mission on board the International Space Station.
Hey, Artyom, can you confirm that we will be performing the wall antenna jettison in Sunrise? That's right.
Хорошо. Ждем.
Will do. Standing by.
Сколько нам до света?
And how much more sunset we've got? We're about 29 minutes away from sunrise.
Ну, я и говорю. Ну, прекрасно.
That's what I was saying.
Что можно потихонечку зайти к КПУ, занести.
Misha, in the meantime, you can ever so slowly and quietly take the KPU carrier in.
Чуть-чуть. На поручнях ППО. А потом...
You need to rest a little bit and then we'll resume motion.
Spacewalk, Scott Kelly will move into the Poisk module of the International Space Station and close the hatch behind him for a brief period of no more than 2 hours, perhaps a bit less, of isolation. That is a precautionary measure that is common to all Russian spacewalks. However, usually the NASA astronaut that flies into space with the Russian cosmonauts who are performing a spacewalk typically spends the entire spacewalk in isolation in one of the Russian modules of the station to which his or her Soyuz vehicle is attached. In this case, under an agreement between U.S. and Russian flight controllers, the decision was made to better utilize Scott Kelly's time during the course of today's spacewalk by reducing the amount of isolation time to 2 hours. Or less.
Practicing the handrail.
He will remain inside 16M until Padalka and Kornienko have closed the hatch to the Piers docking compartment behind them and begun the repressurization of the airlock.
Go back there along the Strela and get everything fixed up there. Off to RM2 will go, and then there we'll perform the Vekadeo operations.
Confirmation now that Padalka and Kornienko have completed the photographic inspection of a fitting on one of the electron system hardware components on the outside of the Zvezda service module, and are in the process of wrapping up the installation of the replacement Wall 6 antenna.
How do you read me, Jim?
The two cosmonauts, Padalka and Kornienko, will wait until sunrise. That will be coming up about 20 or so minutes from now before they jettison the old Wall 6 antenna that was removed and properly bundled for its jettison retrograde from the rear of the Zvezda service module. It will be jettisoned in such a trajectory to have no chance of recontacting the International Space Station, joining two towels that were jettisoned by Padalka and Kornienko earlier in the spacewalk that were used to wipe down their Orlan spacesuits.
I want you to complete the Wall 6 ups first. After you jettison it and are completely done with Wall 6 is where we're going to have you move over to the Vekadeo ups.
Once the wall antenna is jettisoned, then there's only one task remaining on the timeline for today, and that would be the repositioning of a plume impingement and monitoring unit that is housed on the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the station to which the Soyuz TMA-16M spacecraft is docked. The repositioning, basically just adjusting the angle to which that monitoring unit is attached, will provide better data for the Russian flight engineers and controllers at the Russian Mission Control Center, who continuously monitor the impingement of thruster plumes against the hull of the Russian segment of the station.
We heard you. Wall 6 is not really in the way at all. I'll go back from the circulars to MRM2, and then I'll go along the gap spanner. Misha will be right next to me, taking pictures. We will rotate a 90-degree angle. Then we'll jettison the well. Do you concur? Gennady, we concur. All right, then I'm on my way. But I'm already at the EVA ladder. Yeah, but if you turn around, you'll see. I'm right behind you. Okay. Yeah, Misha will take care of leaving the KPU there, and I'll ever so slowly move myself there, just like us. You know, it takes a smart one to surmount the mountain. Just a quick reminder, Gennady. We need to wire tie the cables to avoid extra slack. Yeah, as soon as we hit sunrise, so wherever we see that slack is where we need to attach the wire ties. Yeah, to the handrail stanchions, please, so that it doesn't impede translations. And then you'll need to take pictures after you've completed the wire tie install. Okay. Copy.
Сейчас еще пройду туда, посмотрю.
And I'll keep going and I'll keep looking.
У меня есть проволочные фиксаторы запасные.
I've got extra wire ties. Plenty to spare. And make it nice and reliable.
А там везде проложено хорошо, там еще подматывают.
Everywhere else, it's nice and taut. We don't need to do any extra wiring. Okay, copy. No extra slack? Nope.
Я потом тебе сниму, видео сделаю.
I'll make a video afterwards.
Я потом тебе сниму, видео сделаю.
I'll make a video afterwards and you'll be able to see.
Ну-ка, хорошо.
Okay, Mika. You've already restowed the KPU? That's affirmed.
Рядом с люком.
In that case, let's head for a BKDO. Stand by. I could potentially use another wire tie in one location. Just one, though. It's strange the way it's made it here. Hey, Gennady, how do you read Sergey?
Кто, я или Миша?
Me, Gennady, or me, Misha?
Кого ты запросил?
Who are you calling, Sergey?
Сережа, ты кого запросил?
Sergey, who are you calling?
Ты замолчал,
And then he goes silent.
Да. Ты кого запросил?
Gennady, Sergey, my friend, who are you calling? How do you read me, Gennady?
Я тебя слышу.
I have you loud and clear. Okay, Gennady. Do not translate towards MRM2 quite yet. We need to do some shutdowns first. Okay. Okay. See, I wanted to do... I'll pass. There's no need. Okay. See, I'm here at the base at MRM2. I'm at handrail 1109. Actually, 6011. Standing down, waiting. How copy? Copy. Handrail 6011.
Хорошо как. Так, давление 038.
038 is the pressure, 02 pressure, 238. Copy all. Copy all. Gennady.
Да.
На минус второй переходить можно и двигаться по минус второму.
You are going to translate towards and around MRM2.
Хорошо.
All the necessary shutdowns have already been completed. Okay?
Что вы хотели отключить?
This is Mission Control Houston, 4 hours, 32 minutes into the spacewalk today by Padalka and Kornienko. The crew will now make its way towards the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the station, otherwise known as MRM-2 or Mini Research Module 2. That is the module to which the Soyuz TMA-16M spacecraft is docked and which will undock with Padalka, Kelly, and Kornienko aboard on August 28th to relocate itself to the aft port of the Zvezda service module, opening up the Poisk for the arrival of a third Soyuz vehicle that will be launched September 2nd with Sergei Volkov, a veteran Russian cosmonaut, and two visiting crew members, ESA's Andreas Mogensen of Denmark and Kazakh cosmonaut Aydin Aimbetov, who will launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome for a 10-day mission on the station, coming home with Gennady Padalka in that older Soyuz vehicle, the TMA-16M, on September 12th. The new Soyuz vehicle that will be launched on September 2nd will be the ride home for Kelly and Kornienko along with Sergei Volkov next March to complete a one-year mission aboard the International Space Station.
Housing needs to be rotated to face towards USOS. Okay, it's facing USOS. If necessary, you will need to release the cable that's wire-tied right now. To release what? You need to release the cable and to open the latch, if necessary. Okay.
Cosmonauts shortly will be repositioning a plume impingement and monitoring unit on the Poisk module, so it is in a better position to collect data on thruster firings from the service module's engines. They will also use the opportunity to take some more photographs up there before they position themselves for the jettisoning of the now removed older Wall 6 antenna, one of 6 communications antennas. The other 5 antennas received fasteners to secure their covers. The Wall 6 antenna was an older model that has been replaced by a brand new model whose cover is securely fastened.
And I should be making video unless my battery's already dead. Okay, I'll show you. Once we're out of Eclipse, I'll make another video file. Thank you, Gennady. Okay, it's facing exactly in the direction of the translation path. How copy, Moscow? Copy. It's too dark for us to see anything beyond the actual object. And we've got 5 minutes remaining of Eclipse. So please stand down and take a breather. And then we'll make video. Right? And then we'll make video. Right. You should make a copious amount of videos to cover everything you're not able to see in Eclipse. Okay.
Ау, ты где?
Mikhail, yes, Gennady. Where are you at? I'm right here. Backing you up. Back me up or back me down?
В том числе давно уже, кстати. Заработать надо для группы.
Are you hungry, Mikhail? I'm everything, including hungry.
Я весь чай выхлебал.
I've already exhausted my tea supplies.
Наслаждайся пока ночью.
Enjoy the nighttime, Mikhail.
Хорошо. Какой вы улете болтаете? 238, кислород 0,38. Давление.
238, O2 pressure, decimal 38, suit pressure.
26,7 вольтаж.
26.7 for voltage on the EV2. Copy. Standing down. Standing by.
Так, у нас через 23 минуты будет 5 часов, да? Выход.
Are we going to clock in at 5 hours BET in 23 minutes? That's affirmed. Okay, very good.
Можно потребовать камеру Михаила Борисовича переключить. Ну, он далековато от меня.
Gennady, now is a good time to try to switch the WVS on Mikhail's helmet on, unless it's out of reach. Yes, it is. Get your arms together. Get your arms together. Your arms together. I'm pulling them in. My fingers are freezing. Yeah, that's not going to work, what you're doing, Mikhail. See, I'm not freezing in any part of my body at all. How do you manage not to have your fingers freeze? Because I'm constantly working, Mikhail. Not a moment of respite. So am I. But you don't have the spirit that keeps you warm? I see. Good for you. Oh, good for me.
Так, а вот нас сейчас освещает. Старые, наверное, снимают, да, партнеры? А это трасса, да.
Yeah, we're seeing that the floodlight, is that our partners making a video? Are they trying to beacon us? Yeah, wave at them. Yep, waving at the entire humanity. Yeah, we get a really nice view of you from this camera. We see you waving right now. Yeah, we'll have that GoPro with some battery life remaining to make. Yeah, we'll have that GoPro with some battery life remaining to make some videos too, which is good.
Сейчас еще помашем.
4 hours, 38 minutes into the spacewalk. Padalka and Kornienko heading into the home stretch, waving a bit to their colleagues inside the International Space Station, which is currently flying just south and to the east of Jakarta in the Indonesian islands, moving towards the northwest coast of Australia.
Отдыхай, Миша, пока.
Misha, chill. We've got some sublimator drying coming up. Coming up.
Я знаю, я говорю, еще посушим. Я потом здесь поснимаю еще антенки на мими.
And then take pictures of the antennas on the MRM. Oh, I can see a suit. A copy. Why wouldn't Oleg come over and take a really sweet picture of me from the module? Could you please tell Oleg to get himself into the module and take the pictures? Well, they're closing the hatches. Well, we're going to call him. The hatches are still open. It's too early for them to be closed. Then why don't you call him? I'm going to deactivate the lights. Gennady, why are you mentioning my name in such a bad way? I've been listening to you for a while and I am ready. Well, why don't you get to MRM? Do you mean DC-1? No, MRM. There is a bunch of different bags and stowed items. Well, let me shut off the lights and take a video. And that's for Roscosmos. Yeah, right, and everybody is going to see that you haven't shaven today. From such a close-up picture. Can you imagine that? An unshaven crew member? All right. 10 minutes until installation. We copy. Right. Let me shut off the lights. Done. I mean, our headlights. Headlamps. Now, great. Oleg, we're ready. We're going to look really nice.
Inside the Poisk module, on the space-facing side of the International Space Station, Oleg Kononenko taking pictures and video of Gennady Padalka, the most experienced space flyer in human spaceflight history, in the home stretch of his 10th spacewalk of his career, the first of which conducted in September of 1998.
Take a video with the Glisser cameras as well, so that we could have a picture of Oleg as well. Well, once we get into the installation period, that's when we're going to take a picture. So you gave us like 6:20, 6:33. No, it's 6:28. That's when we're going to be in installation. All right, then no rush.
We're about 10 minutes or so away from moving into an orbital sunrise. The two spacewalkers, Padalka and Kornienko, waiting until the space station has passed into daylight before they position themselves to jettison the old Wall 6 antenna that was removed from the Zvezda service module in place of the installation of a new antenna.
Why wouldn't you enjoy it in EVA alone? Really nice. Okay, I am hooked to 6001. So it's 6001, the handrail that I'm using, and another one is 6015, actually 6014 circumferential handrail. Do you copy, Artyom? We do. And we see the picture. That's great. And we can work here. And I still have some juice left in my GoPro battery. Yeah, don't spare any batteries. Well, I have deactivated it for now. I think when you get into the installation, you can activate the GoPros and don't turn them off till the end of the spacewalk. Oleg.
Олег, если ждем свет.
Oleg, we're standing by for the installation.
Да он в теме.
Well, he knows. It's 5 minutes till installation.
Russian flight controllers have confirmed that Mikhail Kornienko has repositioned, adjusted the orientation of a plume impingement monitoring unit on the outside of the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. Kornienko and Padalka are waiting for sunrise before they themselves position themselves to the right orientation for the jettisoning of the old and now obsolete Wall 6 antenna.
Well, the most important news is that everything's nominal. And since everything's nominal, you can take a nap. Oleg, do you copy me? This is Gennady. Oleg, do you copy? Gennady, I copy, but not connecting. Well, I mean, any iPads connecting? No, neither the first, nor the second, nor the third. What do you mean? Doesn't have Wi-Fi connection? Once I get to MRM, that's when the connection drops. Well, try a different connection route. Take my iPad, number 15. You're using number 14. Well, stand by. I'm going to get... Well, we still have time, Oleg. We still have time for you to change out the iPads. And don't you go away from the window for too long, because I wanted to take a video of you with the GoPro from outside. Because I'll be taking videos and pictures anyway, so why not? Misha, I have deactivated the lights. Can you try and make a video and pictures with the GoPro? It's going to probably be able to take images without the extra lights. Well, let me turn around. Do you see me from here? It's going to be a good image. Well, I haven't deactivated my GoPro. It's on. I have removed the cover and take it vertically. Take it in a vertical position. And there are little arrows there, if you remember.
До выхода из тени осталась 1 минута.
1 minute until installation. That's good, and I think the sunrise is going to be beautiful. Just position yourself a little bit better because the target is in the way. Why don't you translate a little bit down to here? Well, we can just lower the camera. Well, you can just rehook yourself in a better place. Oh, there we go. I'm going to take a video of the sunrise. There we go. There we go. Just translate a little bit down. There we go. Do you see it? Do you see the sunrise? Yes, it just couldn't be better.
Еще снимай, сейчас рассвет будет. У тебя...
Hold on.
Фалы твои.
Your tethers are a little bit in the way. You're actually filming your tethers. Put the camera over and above them. Here is the sunrise. Misha, go. And take the video. And after installation, Gennady, could you just make a SKK antenna, SM, the routing of the cable for well 6? Could you take a general video for about 10 minutes? It's going to be probably 10 seconds. Guys, the iPad would not connect.
Sure. Возьми обычную камеру.
Well, take a regular camera. That's what I did.
Сейчас я еще попытку сделаю.
Well, one last try, because it wouldn't connect neither in crew quarters nor in any of the MRM, so it's just not sending any data. Well, this is Gennady, I'm going to take a video of you with the GoPro. Did you take a regular camera? Meanwhile, I'm making a recording and taking pictures of the general situation, like Moscow asked.
Так, значит, БКДО надо, да?
All right, BKDO unit, right? Yes, BKDO unit. And SKK right next to it. Could you please take a video of the SM, antenna, and the way you routed the cables for WAL 6? Copy.
Я тебя снимаю.
And I am making a video of you, Gennady. This is me, Mikhail. This is Moscow. Go ahead. Could you please translate to the EVA letter? And Gennady, wait. Dude. So, do you want me to translate through via DC-1? Well, we need to rotate and lower DC-1. Well, we need to rotate and lower the solar arrays, so that's why you need to move, guys. Hold on. Again. I am going to the EVA ladder. I'm waiting for Gennady, and Gennady, you are using the boom to move over to DC-1. And the Strela boom. Move over to DC-1. And the Strela boom. All right. Let me get a few more pictures. Let me rehook myself. All right, I'm taking pictures of BKDO unit and the video. Do you see it? Are you getting the picture? No, that's a negative. Well, I thought that you would be able to actually see whether we positioned and whether it's facing the right way. Oh, Gennady Ivanovich, come again. We didn't copy that. I didn't say anything. I just said that maybe you can see whether BKDO unit is facing in the right way. Well, we don't have a opportunity to verify it right now. All right, insulation, and the sun is very strong. There was a short dropout in the comm, a short LOS. So you're not getting any images at all? You can't see whether Bacadero unit is facing the right way? Not for now, guys. Okay, there we go. What else? Hold on, Gennady, we're getting the images, we're getting the visual. Could you show us the Bacadero visual? Could you show us the Bacadero unit? Okay, let me grab the handrail. Do you see it? We see we're getting the visual, but we don't see the Bacadero unit not yet. Could you move? No, it's a little bit too dark there for now. We can't see it. How can it be dark there? I moved. Well, it's the camera that is giving it's like blinking, and that's why we can't actually see. Well, let me turn on the lights. Is it better now? Much better. We can see Bacadero unit and its position.
Just a few minutes shy of the
Bacadero unit and its position.
Just a few minutes shy of the 5-hour mark into the spacewalk today. Padalka and Kornienko near the Poisk module of the International Space Station. In the lower left-hand corner of your screen is the upper section or orbital module section of the Soyuz TMA-16M spacecraft that is docked to Poisk. It will undock with Kelly Kornienko and Padalka on board on August 28th to be flown in a relocation maneuver by Padalka to redock to the aft port of the Zvezda service module. The International Space Station flying to the southeast of New Zealand across the South Pacific, about to begin a southwest to northeasterly track across the Pacific Ocean as the two spacewalkers, Padalka and Kornienko, are in the final stages of their spacewalk, the 188th spacewalk in support of space station assembly and maintenance, as they take photographs and check out the repositioning, a slight adjustment of a plume impingement and monitoring unit that is housed on the Poisk module.
All right. So there is one plate there. So which one? Patch panel. The one that we passed, and the connectors are kind of sticking out there. So is it 10.5? Well, I'll give you the number in a second. All right, I keep the camera on all the time, right? Camera on all the time, right? Yes, keep it on all the time. And Gennady, could you please give me a second? I'm going to tell you everything. I'm transitioning to that patch panel. Gennady? I wanted to remind you once again, FYI, that the solar arrays are in the auto track mode. So please, when you are returning to the EVA ladder, please use the Strela boom. Well, the solar array is not in the way. Well, it is not. So you're saying it's not in the way? No?
As we reach the 5-hour mark into today's spacewalk, just a reminder that the crew outside, Gennady Padalka and Mikhail Kornienko, have completed all of their work, save one other task yet to be accomplished, that being the jettisoning of one of 6 communications antennas that was removed and replaced in favor of a new one. They installed fasteners on the covers of the other 5 similar antennas on the outside of the service module. They also installed translation aids called gap spanners on the outside of the Zvezda service module, cleaned one of the windows on the service module itself. They conducted photography of a biological sample experiment that is housed on the outside of the service module, retrieved a another experiment called the Obstanovka experiment that has been outside of the station collecting data on space weather and plasma wave activity in the low Earth orbit environment. They have conducted extensive photography on the condition of the exterior of the space station and collected samples of thruster residue from a variety of locations on the outside of the hull of the Zvezda service module.
To let you know that we don't have the Lirka clips anymore. Yes, and the PET time was 5 hours, 1 minute. Okay, is it going to hold? It's going to hold. Okay, now we covered up. And there are connectors. There are 3 connectors, and they do not have any Lirka clips there on them. And that's you see this like translational area, and that's where the problem lies. Actually, do you see it? Yes, we do. Okay, I'm translating slowly. And guys, you need to do the following. Okay, you are moving on to the EVA ladder. Then you jettison well 6 and translate past the windows and get to DC1. And then all the actions in the hill. And after that, in about half an hour, you're going to have about half an hour for this whole plan. It sounds fine. Misha, I'm actually ingressing. Well, once you kind of hobble over to here, you'll have some room left.
Mikhail Kornienko briefly moving inside the airlock on the Piers docking compartment to stow a tool bag as well as the cutting device that was used to cut the cable of the old Wall 6 antenna that will be jettisoned shortly by Gennady Padalka once he makes his way towards the Piers docking compartment. That antenna will be jettisoned retrograde from the station, just as 2 towels were jettisoned earlier in the EVA today. That will ensure that there's no potential for recontact with the International Space Station.
Start ingressing slowly, and I will jettison well 6, and then follow your steps. Well, the solar array is not in the way. Artyom, do you see that? Do you see it? Not you, Mikhail. I'm talking to Artyom. It's not even in the way. It's pretty far away. And the sun is on the other side, on that side, so... Can you turn around and take pictures of the EVA ladder? Yes. Okay, taking picture of the EVA ladder. Misha? Have you already ingressed? Come on in. Be my guest. I just wanted to ask you that when Gennady is jettisoning well 6, could you please make a video or pictures of it? Misha, could you please be so kind as to take a video of me jettisoning well 6? Well, why? You should have told me that like long ago. Well, you should have done that. You should have warned me. Well, you don't need to egress. You can just take the pictures from there. Well, he's right in front of me, kind of handing out. take the hook.
This view from the helmet camera on Gennady Padalka's helmet as he positions himself near the ladder called the EVA ladder on the side of the hatch to the Piers docking compartment, where he will position himself for the jettisoning of this old communications antenna that was removed earlier in today's spacewalk.
I'm really well attached, but I'm afraid to hit the antenna. Well, then, don't jettison it.
It's up to you.
Well, my hands are free, so I can actually give it a nice swing and jettison it. All right. Let me tether myself here. Misha? If anything, just send...
As Padalka and Kornienko prepare for the jettisoning of the old communications antenna that constitutes the final task of today's spacewalk, Scott Kelly is preparing to make his way into the Poisk module and close the hatch protectively for a brief period of isolation that will allow Padalka an airlock, close the hatch to complete the spacewalk for today and begin the repressurization of Piers. Once the module is repressurized, then Kelly is free to open up the hatch and resume his work for the rest of the day today.
Just be careful with the antennas. Try not to hit them. Well, I'll be sending it a little bit to the right. Let me verify that the camera is on. Is your camera on, Misha? Yes. And this is Gennady, -2.
I'm afraid mine ran out of juice. Hang on. Yeah, mine's dead. Copy. All right, in that case, this is Gennady. Yeah, if you're ready. I guess the battery was a little weak. All right. I'm ready. Moscow, on your go. Your go to jettison, Gennady.
Sure.
And there it goes. Gorgeous. Are you watching it? Yes, we are.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Farewell. We copy all. Thank you so much. Let's do the inventory of what you have with you. Oh.
And so at 2:30 p.m. Central Time, the Wall 6 antenna has been jettisoned by Gennady Padalka.
Don't be a stranger.
That antenna was first installed on the International Space Station, a trio of antennas, the second trio to be installed in March of 2005. So 10.5 years later, Wall 6 is gone. Its job having been completed, it having been replaced by a brand new communications antenna earlier in today's spacewalk.
Whisper and red. Here.
Mikhail Kornienko is inside the Piers docking compartment airlock. You see him very clearly in this view from Gennady Padalka's helmet camera. The crew will take an inventory of all their tools and equipment before Padalka makes his way inside Piers, closing the hatch, removing a protective ring around the outer perimeter, circumference of the hatch itself. He'll make his way inside Piers to join Kornienko, and then the two will close the hatch to mark the official end of today's spacewalk before they repressurize the Piers airlock.
Right, range with a red, yes. Glisser and red. Glisser and red. Got it. One adjustable and small large. I confirm. That's exactly what I have. Crew log bag with a small red is secured inside DC. Affirmative. Copy. Thank you.
And once again, while the spacewalk was being conducted at 11:46 a.m. Central Time, just a few hours ago, inside the Columbus module of the International Space Station, NASA astronauts Scott Kelly and Kjell Lindgren, along with Japanese astronaut Kimiya Yui, completed the harvesting and the initial sampling of space-grown produce as they sampled red romaine lettuce leaves grown as part of the veggie experiment, one of the highlights of today's activities on board the International Space Station.
Yeah. I can see the wall antenna still lingering close by. Mikhail, you can still see it? Yeah, it's very well visible. Let me see. Oh, yeah. It's lit up by the sun. Yeah, it seems tiny now. I remember in 2004, I jettisoned a big object. That's right.
О, картинка, слушай, через люк. Да? Ага. Amazing. Так, УРМД.
All right. ORMD on plane 4 is clearly visible.
Гена, ред у тебя на штанге большой висит, не забудь.
Gennady, don't forget about your large red on the
Была крышка пристыкована.
beam.
Но он зацепился, значит, за стрелу.
It's not attached anywhere.
Пойдет сейчас.
Well, maybe it got caught on it. So you don't want to
На рукоятку насадился.
have it stuck.
Так, тебе. Это он просто за барашек. Ну да, да.
All right. Yeah, it just got snug on the wing nut. Let me take a picture of you. Look out the window.
Да, мигает все.
See if the LED is blinking. You're good.
О, класс.
Awesome.
Геннадий Иванович,
Правда, как мы выберем?
Gennady?
Да.
Yes.
а как вы считаете, Михаил Борисовичу надо выходить из люка, чтобы вам зайти? Или вы там сможете внутри расположиться так?
Gennady, do you think it would be better for Mikhail to egress so that you could ingress, or can you accommodate yourselves in this configuration inside DC? And he doesn't need to come out first?
Mikhail Kornienko and Gennady Padalka have worked very deftly throughout the course of today's spacewalk, well ahead of their timeline. All of their tasks completed. The crew is completing an inventory of their tools and equipment before Padalka joins Kornienko inside the airlock of the Piers docking compartment. Once they close the hatch, that will mark the official end of today's spacewalk. We'll have a variety of statistics available for you, as we typically do at the end of any spacewalk out of the International Space Station, which is currently flying from southwest to northeast, about to skirt the northwest coast of South America and fly directly across the Panama Canal into the Caribbean Sea. A busy week lies ahead for the crew, not only research. Tomorrow, the Russian crew members, Kornienko and Padalka, will be drying out their Orlan spacesuits, recharging the suits' batteries and preparing them in the event they would be required to be used again in short-term turnaround for any activity on board the station. On Friday, the International Space Station's Russian Progress 58 cargo craft will be undocked from the aft port of the Zvezda service module to be deorbited for a reentry where it will burn up over the Pacific Ocean, its job having been completed. That will set the stage for the relocation of the Soyuz TMA-16M spacecraft from the Poisk module to the aft end of the Zvezda service module, with Padalka, Kelly, and Kornienko on board on August the 28th. This coming Sunday, the Japanese H-2 transfer vehicle, the HTV, a huge cargo craft, will be launched from the southern coast of Japan at the Tanegashima Space Center on a 4-day journey to deliver several tons of equipment and supplies, as well as experiments, to the crew on board the International Space Station. That vehicle set to launch right around 8 a.m. Central Time on Sunday. We'll begin our coverage on NASA television at 7:15 a.m. Central Time. We'll also provide coverage of the departure of the Progress 58 cargo craft early Friday morning at 5 a.m. Central Time. That will begin our coverage. The undocking itself to take place at 5:19 a.m. Central Time.
For some reason it's not working. Wait, I can't reach with my hand, Misha. What am I pushing against? Wait. Don't move. It should be turning off momentarily. And you should have heat exchanger drying displayed on the monitor. What a view. Spectacular. Sublimator supposed to go all the way down? It's up to you, Mikhail, but you just need to dry it. During the drying, please use position 3 for the temperature control handle. Yep, that's exactly what I have. 3. That's good, Mikhail. And now it's getting chilly. We're doing that on purpose, setting it to position 3. For the sublimator's sake. I know. And you might actually get message heat exchanger drying nominal before 10 minutes are up. Copy. The pressure is 0.38 in EV1 suit. And drying's not completed yet. Same for EV2.
The panoramic view from 250 miles above the Earth as the International Space Station passes just to the west of Quito, the capital of Ecuador.
Геннадий Иванович.
Геннадий?
Да.
Yes.
Можно заходить в СО.
You go to ingress DC.
Снимать защитное кольцо, но...
Remove protective ring, but do not close the EV hatch before we give you a go. Copy. Mikhail, can you see where my GoPro is? Just look at me and see where it is on me.
Право, слева.
Should I look right, left? It's right under the white button. Right there.
Вошел.
Found it.
Работает еще. Ты посмотри, как живущий.
Again, at the time that Gennady Padalka is about to join his crewmate, Mikhail Kornienko, inside the Piers docking compartment, Scott Kelly has made his way into the Poisk module of the International Space Station with access to the Soyuz TMA-16M spacecraft if required, in the highly unlikely event that a problem would occur with the repressurization of Piers once the hatch is closed.
Так, ну да.
Да, можно заходить.
So, am I go to ingress? Affirmative. Go for
17 years after conducting his first spacewalk outside the Mir space station to help repair damaged cables on the Spectre module of the old Russian space station, Gennady Padalka about to conclude the 10th spacewalk of his career, equaling him for second place on the all-time list of spacewalks with Mike Lopez Alegria, the former NASA astronaut, who in 10 spacewalks logged more than 67 hours of spacewalking time, falling a few spacewalks short of the all-time record held by Anatoly Soloviev, the veteran Russian cosmonaut who chalked up 14 spacewalks and a total of 68 hours and 44 minutes of spacewalking time during his career.
Wouldn't have to go to descent module every time he needs to talk to someone. Can I leave this com config for him to use while he's in MRM? Yes. That would be fine on com config.
Да что такое? Что ты маешь? Да, карабинчик. Не майся. Так, все мои карабины здесь.
All right, all my hooks are accounted for. So they're all right here. And we're watching and we confirm. Let me move this out of the way so it's not in the way of hatch being closed.
Сейчас осмотрим поверхность.
Padalka now inside the Piers docking compartment as the International Space Station passes over the Caribbean Sea on a pass that will take it across the island of Hispaniola and across the mid-Atlantic.
Let me remove one of the hooks. And once you're accommodated within the module, you're going to remove the protective ring. Gennady, tell me when you're ready. Let me turn around. And I'm turned around.
Можем приступать к снятию защитного кольца.
All right. I am ready to remove the protective ring. Copy that. You're go to press.
Sure.
A rare glimpse inside the Piers docking compartment. This protective ring will be removed by the crew members. That was, as you see it, being removed, basically to protect the circumference, the hatch sealing surfaces of the hatch itself to make sure nothing, no debris would accumulate on that ring to cause a problem at the point of hatch closure and repressurization of the Piers docking compartment airlock.
Mikhail, wait, don't move. You got the under your own tether. Let me inspect the surface. There's nothing in the metal. Copy. No FOD. Let's verify the seals, and the seals look good. Mikhail, can you rotate yourself to 90 degrees to the left? Go lower. And I got a message, drying nominal. Copy, Gennady. I'm still in drying mode. Moscow for EV2. Copy. Yeah, right there on the right, you see your tether, Mikhail. Get under, and then unhook the tether. Can you just unhook the tether and make it easier for me? I can't do that, Mikhail. Not in this body position. That's why I told you to rotate to where I can do it. Got it. Let me retether KPU tool carrier away from the hatch area. Move it deeper into the module. It's not in the way of anything, though, Gennady. No, it is in the way. The tether is. And for EV2, got the message illuminated. Drawing nominal. Copy, Mikhail. Let's just put it where it was to begin with. Right here. Can we close the hatch? No, not yet, Gennady. Stand down on that. Copy. Standing down and closing the hatch for the time being. We'll wait for you go, Moscow.
Standing by for the closing of the hatch on the airlock of the Piers docking compartment that will mark the official end of today's spacewalk. Scott Kelly securely ensconced in the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station, where he will remain through the repressurization of Piers, at which point he'll be able to re-enter the rest of the International Space Station's modules.
Mikhail, did you get the heat exchanger drawing nominal message? Yes, I did. I reported on that. Copy. And you're go to close the EV hatch, guys. And work.
Так, сюда посмотримся. Начнем оттуда и отсюда.
Sure that it's sealed and place and let's lock it down.
Я смотрю за роликом.
I'm watching the rollers.
Еще.
A little more. And we're in.
Да.
Ролики закрыты, да?
The rollers went
Да.
into place? Affirmative. The hatch is closed and sealed.
1 минута.
Copy that. That makes your EVA PE.
This is Mission Control Houston. The hatch is now officially closed on the Piers docking compartment at 2:51 p.m. Central Time, marking an end to today's spacewalk at 5 hours and 31 minutes for Gennady Padalka and Mikhail Kornienko.